Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Father's Loop, where we promote fathers through building men. As always, we're certainly glad that you took the time. We're glad that you took the time out of your busy schedule to stop by and hang out with us this evening. We want you to know that we certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule. Unfortunately, we was running into some technical issues, and at times these things happen. They definitely happen. But at the end of the day, though, we understand what's really behind us and what's happening. But nevertheless, though, we're gonna have this show tonight,
Yes.
and we're gonna talk a little bit with you. Of course, I'm sure by now y'all see this beautiful lady that's sitting next to me.
Good evening, everyone.
Sure y'all know who she is. That's my better to have. You know, yes. The Lord has really blessed us with I think going on 16 years now.
17.
17 years of marriage, happily married,
Happily married. Yes.
So yeah, but hey, what you got to say to the audience right now, sweetie?
Good evening again, everyone. And now listen, we have a role for you all to play, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have a role for you to play. And that is for you to get on the phone and call, text. Listen, go on social media, shout it out to all of your friends, all of your homies, all your homegirls, and tell them to come on over and check us out at A Father's Note. We're going to be talking about sharing some wisdom and some insight into what actually took place. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to give it back to my host. But before I do that, I want you all to think about these. We have a little bit of information that will help you out. And this is a book that my mother in love wrote, and it's entitled Diary of a Virtuous Wife. You see, she says how to live with infidelity and when doing it God's way. So if you want the book, if you're interested in purchasing the book, you can DM my husband on his page, or you can find it on Amazon.
Yes, it's on Amazon. Diary of a Virtuous Wife. Listen, it's a very, very good book.
Powerful.
And it's small, easy to read, but it talks about how my mother was able to live with infidelity and when, as my wife said, doing it God's way. So it's a great book, and I believe that it can be very helpful to you as it has been helpful to many others. So as we're going to go on, I want to do. We're going to be talking about Pinkett Smith and her role in the life of her husband, Will Smith. Basically, talking about the influence of a woman. Okay. So what I like to start off with, though, I want to start off playing a clip. Before I go there, I almost forgot about our guest. Let me bring on our guest. Hey, hello, Miss Dominique.
Hello, everybody. On A Father's Note, we're back.
Welcome back. And also we have Miss Katia Fillmore.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be back.
See, my wife corrected me on your
Yes,
name,
you
so
got to roll
forgive
it.
me.
It's
Katia.
Katia.
You got it now. Katia.
Right? Thank
All right.
you.
Forgive me for that. I have to work with names at times, but we're here. So, but anyway, we want to talk about, as I stated, the actions or the influence of Miss Pinkett Smith in the role of her husband, Will Smith. And I want to play two clips as a recap of, many of you may have seen the video that I had with my guest on last week, where we talk about the slap heard around the world. That's such an cliche right now, but y'all understand what I mean. So let me roll these clips, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna tell you now. I know we started late tonight, but we definitely are not gonna rush this year. We want to make sure that everything that you need to hear, not only from us and our God, the wisdom that God has allowed us, but also the wisdom from God Himself. We definitely, because you can't be successful in this world. It's hard to really transition or travel. Let me say that, use that word, the word travel through this world without God. I mean, people do it now. People do it, but I can tell you, I'd rather make this journey, this travel through life with God than without Him.
Come on.
Mr. Johnson, glad to see you. We're also on YouTube. Okay, we're live on YouTube. So please, you want to leave a comment. You have any questions once we get through this here, please feel free to do so. But we want you to contact everybody. Just let everybody know we are on this. We got a good show for you tonight. So let's go on. Mr. Johnson says that the squad is back. Oh, yeah, they are back. Yes, I love that brother. He's a good brother. But listen, let me play this clip from last week. All right, and we'll talk on it a little bit. Here we go.
Because a man knows if he can get the respect of his woman. Because a man knows if he can get the respect of his woman, he has more than sex. He has more than your loyalty. He has more than your understanding, because the respect from you is going to gain other things. If you respect your king, you're gonna do things and make decisions that's going to reflect kingship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this came from when we was discussing the love language a man wants, and what Mr. Gibbons was addressing there was that, you know, the theory is that we want sex more than we want anything else, but it's obviously and through a survey that we did, men want respect. Men want respect, and I'm going to ask this question not for the purpose of it being answered right now, because I'm sure we're going to get it. But the question is, have Mrs. Smith respected her husband, Mr. Smith? Has she given him the respect that he deserves as her king? Okay, let me play another clip here from our last session, round table with my brothers there. Here we go.
We talk a lot about good men, and this being a show about a father's note, and there are a lot of good men that have amazing women behind them, and those women don't allow those men to make certain mistakes, because they know that the collateral damage that comes behind, if the man should get out of character, if the man has a mouthpiece on him, if he snaps, if he is too aggressive, or if he gets too loud, the wife knows that it is my job to make sure that my king don't upset this kingdom. Right. And what we have here is Jada gave him that look, as you stated, and he had a decision to make.
What do y'all have to say to that, ladies?
That's absolutely correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Most definitely. But I would also like to say, Mr. Aaron, he made one little boo-boo in his comment, in his statement. He said that the great men that were on that panel has the woman behind them. We're not behind, we right next to them. I just want to clear that up. Right next to them. See, God took us from the rib. He didn't take us from the bag.
Just a little clarification.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But I knew where he was coming from.
Where he was coming from.
See, I'm outnumbered tonight, but I can handle it now. But
you got to back up on that. I see Mr. Kerry Johnson on there.
I like what Mr. Johnson says. He says that slap suggested for Jada to please respect me, baby. Do you see what I'm willing to do? Wow. Wow. I believe, and you ladies can help me, that comment there, we can say that it's definitely speaking to the direction in which that we're going tonight on tonight's show, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right.
So on tonight's broadcast, we will focus on the power of a woman's influence, both the negative and the positive ways that women can influence their husbands. Okay. And I just want to give you a little definition of influence. And it reads, a person or thing with the capacity or power to have an effect on someone or something.
Mhm.
I'm going to
Wow.
read it again. A person or thing with the capacity or power to have an effect on someone or something. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. And I want you all, you're going to play the first clip.
Sure.
And I want you all to pay attention
Mhm.
to Miss Jada's facial expression, her body language, the clutching of the hands, and how her expressions made her husband react the way he did. Roll it.
And just to cap on that, what I was able to do was find a clip that not only had a view of Mr. Wills taking the slap and him walking back to his seat, but this also has, I'm sure that many of you may have saw the clip of the different angle of Ms. Smith in her response. And I can tell you now, it really bothered me. And it's kind of going back to some of the questions and comments that me and the gentleman had said on last week. But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip for you now.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Okay, so y'all, do I need to play that again? I need to play that again because I'm sure you all saw that. Let me play it again. Start it again.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Okay, so now y'all saw that. Y'all saw our expression. I want to make sure it starts with Will, but the camera is going to pan to her. Just watch her gesture. Okay.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Now this is the slap. Now pay attention to what you're about to see here.
Oh, wow.
Now, side by side, watch Jada's reaction here.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Did y'all see her gesture?
Mhm.
Okay, let me back that up a little bit.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Okay, now,
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
all right. My question, babe. Let me ask you, because we sitting right here now. Because the question came up, or the statement came up in our last show, is that it's a possibility that Jada did not know what Will was going to do.
Mhm.
Okay, but now, granted, that's a possibility.
It's possible.
Now, so let's say my pet name, Preacher,
Hmm.
got up out of his seat, went and slapped a man, and walked back to my seat and sat down and began to verbalize the same words in which, not exactly, but the same words in which that Mr. Smith had said.
Hmm.
What would have been your reactions?
Well, first of all, once the comment was made and I saw your body language, I would have grabbed you.
Okay,
I
but
would
what
have
if
grabbed you and I would have
Mhm.
held you. So
Okay.
you
But
wouldn't have
now-
been able to get up.
But they're sitting apart now. They're sitting apart.
And that's number. We're gonna start with that first. Why are we sitting apart?
That's it.
Why are we sitting apart? You my husband, you my man. You gonna be right here. Okay?
Okay.
That's number one.
All right.
Number two was when I saw the gesture, I would have grabbed you.
Right.
So you wouldn't
Well,
have
so
been
you
able.
wouldn't have made that gesture that Jada did.
Oh no,
That's what you're saying.
no.
Okay. All right. So you didn't catch
Ask them.
Hold on.
Okay.
They gonna chime in. Don't them chime in.
Uh-huh.
So, but you didn't catch me. I done already committed the act, the assault, because that's what it is. That's
Right.
what it was.
Right.
I'm on my way back. what are you doing then?
Praying.
Now, okay, you pray.
Seriously, in the spirit, yes. No, I would have tried to calm you down. And
Even if I'm verbalizing myself, right?
Mhm.
I'm being, what's the word? Belligerent.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just making a scene.
Mhm.
Would even if you were, would you have attempted to calm me down, quiet me down?
Of
Would
course,
you have
absolutely.
remained in your seat?
No, I
No.
would have came to. What you doing?
Okay, so I'm just trying to paint a picture here.
Right. I'm
Okay.
following.
Ladies,
For me, the first thing would be, even if I was offended, knowing who my husband is, right? As a protector, I would have kept my face blank, because that's something that a woman in your mid 20s, right? You begin to learn how to keep a blank expression. And in your early teens, you don't, but in your mid 20s, you begin to understand, okay, body language, paying attention to your man, paying attention, understanding and knowing who he is. So the first thing, like Miss Sharelia said, was she would have had, there's no reason why we should have been sitting apart. My hand would have been on his lap. That's the first indication when I start feeling him rise up. It's, come on, baby, I got you. It's a rub, it's a touch, it's a look. It's the influence that we have even without words.
Yes.
well, before you chime in, Ms. Dominique, I want to ask those who are watching, if your husband was to take those actions, I'm talking to the married ladies, I'm directing this question to the married ladies, what would put it in the comment what your reaction would have been? I got one where Miss Fields said she said, I probably walking him out, like, babe, let's take a walk.
That's it.
All right. Okay, so Ms. Dominique, because my mind is I got a lot of stuff in my head, but I know it's the ladies' round table, but I'm gonna let y'all have this stuff. But we ain't in a hurry tonight, so go ahead on, Dominique.
I totally agree with what the lady said, and like I said, you know your man, you know where the triggers are. So if you seem about to react, your face can do something. Your face could stop him. And if it's beyond the point of no return, then you have to be physical. You have to get up and maybe we need to go. I need to go. So that give him that space to get out, that escape. Because before he gets to the stage, you know, because once you're past that point of no return,
So
the only thing you could do now is collateral damage, is clean up the mess afterwards.
Let me play this clip again because I want y'all to see something, in my opinion, from a man's perspective.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Now, the minute I verbalized that, I could see my wife all in my chest.
Yep.
That's it.
In my opinion, she left him out there.
She did. And she was smiling.
Exactly.
She shook her head in agreement with him.
With what he did. Exactly. I saw that.
He did that in honor of her, but in return, she dishonored him.
Yes.
Can I say that, honestly say that? Please let me know, the ladies in the comments. I'm talking to the wives now. And I mean, if you're engaged, I'm talking about, you're gonna get married. Okay, you can comment too. Mr. Fillmore says that she also would have reminded me that we don't bring shame to the kingdom in no form or fashion. No question about it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Totally agree. All right, where we going at next? We got that one out of the way. So we can honestly say she left him hanging there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Are we doing okay here so far? Let us know in the comments, please. Let me see where we at. What's the next video here y'all want me to play?
Well, before we go to the video, we're going to share
the Jada moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We had talked about it, and the thing about it is, and I'm not I'm not. I'm confessing. I'm telling my fault here. We've all had Jada moments.
Okay.
You know, we didn't wake up saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. We didn't wake up this way, and we had went through a process, and we learned how to be a wise woman. But when we were foolish, there were certain things we did. You would think, oh, they should know better. Well, some people take a little bit longer to know than others. I had a situation. I didn't want to deal with it. I influenced Mr. Dumerville to deal with it because I really wanted it. And if I would have done it, it wouldn't have happened. So I asked him to do it. And he did it, but we got caught and it did not fare well for either of us. And it was a financial transaction. And I couldn't do it because my income was too high. So I thought maybe if he did it, you know, like I said, I'm not proud of the moment, but we do have influence. And I learned a valuable lesson. Don't be putting him out there. Don't put myself out there. That's not the kingdom way. It's not even the right way. Because when you do the wrong thing, even for a right reason, it's still wrong. And when you do that wrong thing, then you got a lot of damage to clean up behind. And you didn't have to go there if you just stayed in your lane. You knew you couldn't afford it. You knew you shouldn't have put that credit out. Oh, sorry. Put that money out there. And, you know, lose and you learn and you don't do it again. Exactly. I put my king in a bad situation and I shouldn't have.
Okay.
That was my Jada moment.
I have a comment here from Miss Brunache. And she said that I would have placed my hand on my husband and tell him to focus on the bigger picture. This is not about me. Let's focus on getting that win.
That's good.
That's it.
That's good.
That's real good.
Let me see. I have another comment here. Even in his weak moment, she's supposed to be his strength when he's weak. That's great.
Yes, that is great.
That is great. That's a great. Absolutely. And, you know, it's well. Let's continue because I don't want to take up the show from you, ladies. But what y'all got next?
I'll give my Jada moment.
Come on with your Jada moment.
My husband and I think in our early years of being married, we had a situation. Well, he had an initial situation with his ex-wife, and there was some words exchanged. I had absolutely nothing to do with it. I didn't know about it until I actually walked on the situation. And I just kind of minded my own business and I left it there. And from that point, I think she interpreted me being quiet and staying in my lane as me siding with my husband. So the next thing I do, she pulled me in and called me names. So my Jada moment was my husband was just like, I think he was probably shocked, so he didn't respond. He didn't defend me. So I was like, so you're not going to say nothing? You know, and I said, if you don't say something to her, I'm going to say it. And if I say it, we're going to have some problems. And I was going to speak without words. And he was like, what? You know, and you can see how quickly that was going to go left. Because I meant every word of it. And I mean, thank God my husband was like, that's not even who you are anymore.
Wow.
You know?
See, again, that comment there said exactly what I was thinking when you spoke, Ms. Dominique. When the man really should himself be able to identify a Jada moment, and he understand his place, his kingship. No, I understand, but that's not something that we're gonna do. That's not something that we can engage in. Again, because I don't want to do what Adam did.
That's it.
Listen to Eve when I know right from wrong.
Wrong.
Let me hit my own mic drop.
That's awesome.
what we got next here. So talk to us, ladies. So where we at now?
Ooh.
I'm trying to. I don't know who's hosting, me or my wife.
You're hosting.
Okay, I'm hosting. All right.
I think we're at the next video clip.
We had the next video clip.
Yes.
All right. So this one here is. Yeah, we got some good content here. That's going to definitely. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. All right. Just let me pull that one up there. Let me pull that one up. Where's she at?
Of my son. Hear me.
He cannot hear you. He's nothing but a piece of stone with the head of a bird.
He will hear me. I am Egypt.
Egypt. You are nothing. You let Moses kill my son. No God can bring him back. What have you done to Moses? How did he die? Did he cry for mercy when you tortured him? Bring me to his body. I want to see it, Ramses. I want to see it.
This is my son. He would have been Pharaoh. He would have ruled the world. Who mourns him now? Not even you. All you can think of is Moses. You will not see his body. I drove him out of Egypt.
I'm stopping this for a reason, but I want to say this. Listen how she had talked to him. He's a king.
Mm-hmm.
Listen how she had addressed him in spite of his kingship. Really? Now, those of you who may have watched this 10 Commandments, I think that's the name of this movie.
Yes.
This man is a strong man. This man is a strong man, but yet still she talked to him like he was nothing. Okay, let me continue.
You cannot fight the power of his God.
His God. The priests say that Pharaoh is a god, but you are not a god. You are even less than a man. Listen to me, Ramses.
Brothers, how would you feel if your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance were to use those words to you? You are less than a man.
Wow.
Just think about that. Now, I know some of you that may be watching, y'all might not understand where we're going here tonight, but I really want us to dig in real deep in what is going on in the world today that's going on in relationships. There are a lot of marriages that are having these type of conversations with one another.
Yes.
Okay, but let's go on. Let's continue.
You thought I was evil when I went to Moses. And you were right. Shall I tell you what happened, Ramses? He spurned me like a strumpet in the street. I, Nefertiti, Queen of Egypt. All that you wanted from me, he would not even take. You hear laughter, Pharaoh? Not the laughter of kings, but the laughter of slaves on the desert.
It.
Laughter. Laughter.
Understand, she's marking him.
Yes. It's
She is marking his authority. He made it. Now, understand, if you understand the decision, the show, he made a decision just to go ahead and let the Israelites go.
Right.
Especially after losing his son, he decided to let the Israelites go. But look what this clip is going to show you: the influence,
The power
of
the influence.
the influence that a woman have on a man who walked in the authority in which that he did.
Mm-hmm.
My son, I shall build your tomb upon their crushed bodies. And if any escape me, their seed shall be scattered and accursed forever. My armor, war crown, laughter. I will turn the laughter of these slaves into wails of torment. They shall remember the name of Moses, only that he died under my chariot wheels.
Kill him with your own hands.
Let the trumpet sound. Alert the watchtowers. Assemble all the chariots at the city gate.
I obey.
Urian Thebes will draw my chariot. I will bring you back your temple treasure.
Just bear with it. Go get to the nutty goody here, I think.
Bring it back to me, stained with his blood.
I will. To mingle with your own.
Somebody want to chime in? Because I can. Because listen, y'all already know what happened if you know the story. He lost.
Yep.
He lost. He lost everything. Only because of the power of her influence, because of her own satisfaction. Ladies, y'all got to talk to me now. Y'all got to talk here. Y'all got to talk.
Well, that's what, she provoked him.
Yes, she did.
She appealed to his vanity. She knew his triggers and she plucked every last one because she knew she had the power of influence. She knew him and she knew what would make him pop.
Pop, exactly.
With no regard for herself, because at that point she'd already lost her child. She lost everything anyhow. She lost Moses. She lost everything. So what the heck?
How many other marriages have found themselves in situations like this? I know this is a biblical story, which is true, but let's think about it. Let's bring it to now. How many other marriages, how many other wives have talked and influenced your husband to do things that both of you later regret?
That's it.
Regret it.
Yeah.
Jada influenced Will to take an action that has really cost him right now. It would be, I'm just talking from my own thought. I think that it will be a long time before he recovers. And it's going to take the will of God, if he recovers. It's going to take the will of God, the influence of God in order to, well, I'm praying that he do, recover.
When you say recover, are you talking about economically? Are you talking about emotionally?
No.
Are you talking about professionally?
Emotionally as a man. That's what I'm talking about. All that other stuff, that's materialistic thing. That's mammon.
Right.
No, it's about his soul. It's about his spirit right now. I'm sure this man is wounded. He is wounded. I'm sure he is hurt.
He is. You could see it in his body language.
I'm sure that this and listen, let me say this here. I'm gonna talk from the perspective of a man. One man being put in a situation like that, to me, is one man too many. I just want we as men to stand up and take our place, man. Just that's it. And we make it more difficult. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be quiet, y'all. We make it more difficult than it really has to be as far as being a man. Somebody talk.
Okay, so let me take that back for you. The first thing.
This is question. Hold on. This coming here. Was that a Jada moment or an Eve moment? You won't surely die.
Come on, Geneva.
That was good.
Yes, girl.
Mm.
That's powerful.
I think that battle have been a little bit of both.
That's true.
And that's and not just Jada and not just Eve, but maybe Jiva.
The combination of the two.
Java. Jada'S.
I let it go. Oh, Miss Katia.
Go ahead, Miss Katia.
I'm going to take you to Isaiah 3:9. It says, let me pull it up for you real quick so I make sure I got this right. Isaiah 3:9, it says, the look on their faces testifies against them. They parade their sin like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them, they have brought disaster upon themselves. So the simple look on our faces, it is the outward expression of what we're feeling on the inside, right? Because men are based on pride and ego, okay? Women are built on off of emotion. So if we're in an emotional state, especially coming from the situation with Will and Jada and their previous entanglement, I don't care what anybody says. Will was humiliated. Will was embarrassed. Okay. Will was, his manhood was stripped from him. And yes, he had a part to play in it because he allowed it.
Exactly.
Right? Due to his own choice. Will knew where she stood before they got married. She said to him, and I quote, I never wanted to get married. I do not believe in a traditional marriage. Will said from the time he was 7 years old, he knew that he wanted to get married and have a family and raise a family. That was the first indication of run for your life, sir. She knew what she wanted. She knew what she didn't want. What she did not want was being put in a box of traditional marriage. She wanted to explore her life. She wanted to explore what she thought her life was. So that's exactly what she did. She influenced him outside of what his original foundation was. That goes back to when the Lord said to the children of Israel in 1 Kings to not marry.
There you go.
Outside of who he says. You cannot go into the strip club, man of God, and pick up a woman and say, oh, I'm going to make her my wife. So if you do that, then you're following into Hosea 1, 2, and 3. When the prophet marries the prostitute, but the Lord told him to. Why? Because God said he was going to expose what was going on in his kingdom. We're now seeing everything that can be shaken is being shaken. The world is being exposed for what's going on in their world.
Yep.
And that's why we have to set the standard, and we can't sit here and say that, you know, we shouldn't speak up. We have to. We have to push back. We have to fight back. Will is in a fight for his life. To be very honest, I don't know if Will may or may not. I pray to God that he does not take his own life. But in the direction in which it's going, Will said, I don't believe in divorce.
He did.
Yep.
He said that several times.
So it was not an option.
Exactly. He repeated it at the red table during the entanglement conversation. He repeated it several times. He repeated it on Oprah 4 times. He repeated it to Jada. He repeated it to Cherie. And he said his first divorce nearly killed him.
You know why? Because again, as in my opening monologue last week, this man was raised up with Christian principles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was.
And I'm sure, again, his grandmother
Mm-hmm.
was a great influence
Mm-hmm.
in his life in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And why we don't know why he decided. I wasn't there. I wasn't in Will's mind. Why he decided to go against his Christian beliefs. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying I've ever heard him profess to be a Christian, but I have children. I don't care how far they stray. Whatever God has instilled in them is instilled in them. They can't get too far because they have been introduced to what the truth is.
That's true.
They can't get too far.
And I've heard him myself, even on Oprah. He repeated scripture. He talked about God right after he spoke about the universe. So there, you can tell that where the foundation was. But it's the people. One, you have to think about the upbringing. Will watched his father abuse his mother. He said his father never really loved him. His mother stayed in there. Let's go in a little deeper. If we go to mom's going to church, dad's going to church, we're putting up a foundation of God. Then you're going home and I'm watching you beat my mother, right? So he's growing up thinking, this is hypocrisy. How could, and for children, how could God allow this? Nobody came and saved me. Nobody came and rescued me, right? So his broken father and his abused mother, who was a victim. But here's the thing, as an ex-victim myself from physical abuse, right? And not my husband. So if you're not careful, you become a willing participant in your own abuse.
Yes.
Wow.
We do as women. You have some accountability level, right? When people say that God said he hates divorce, he said he hates divorce, but there's several times where he blatantly said separate, leave. One, when it was not his will, right? That is also in Ezra 10. So y'all go read it. So nobody don't say I'm telling y'all to go get a divorce. But there's a basis for it when God is saying it. Two, he said, let no man put asunder what God has put together. If God didn't put it together, guess what man's going to do? They're going to put it asunder.
Yeah. Gary Johnson said here that his own will to avoid failure is causing him to make poor decisions.
That's it.
That's good.
I believe that's good. That's very good.
Can I add something?
Yes, sure.
It's along the same lines. You know, in the world, the mindset is half a person and a half a person make a whole person. That is a lie from the very pits of hell. What it takes is a whole person plus another whole person, a man and a woman, to come together to become where two people become one. And that is the mystery. And if we do it the way God intended, it will give us God's results.
That's it.
That's good.
I'm just, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for all of them.
Yes.
But the illustration of Will and Jada is an illustration. They're in the limelight. So we see, but how many hundreds of thousands of couples are suffering? And there is you got women bashing men. You got men ignoring women, which is, in other words, just like the verbal abuse a woman would give a man. That silent treatment is killing him on the other side. So you have all this going on and all these distractions, and there's no unity. There's no love. There's no connection. There's no even progress. They are stuck and don't know how to get unstuck.
That's it.
I think what we're acknowledging here is the fact that, again, I said pretty much what you said earlier today, is that, because they're in the forefront, because they're in the limelight, per se, they are example of thousands of couples.
That's it.
In that very same situation, that's battling those type of relationship. Okay, so it's not fair, and I want to make sure that everybody understands. We're not here condemning them for where they're at.
No.
But we want to highlight that these type of things can cause you to have a marriage in which that bring negative results into it. You know, so we acknowledge these things so that, as well as with the intent to give you resources and help, ideas, suggestions, words of wisdom, where you can avoid this. If you got issues in your home, take a good look, ladies. Start
Yes.
with yourself. Men, start with yourself. Stop blaming the other for your own actions. No, hey, are you doing what is necessary to make sure that you are having to make sure that you're going to have the best possible relationship that you can.
Right.
Now, if you get with the wrong one, I'm going to tell you sometimes that's not going to work out.
But that was the whole problem. You all stated that he had biblical principles and that was in his life. So why, like I believe Katia said it, why would you per se go to a strip club to get a wife? No, you're unequally yoked. If you were raised up with biblical principles, you was raised up in church, why would you choose someone that was total opposite?
Now, again, I'm sure that there have been some ladies and there have been some men who have married ladies and men out of the church and just go for hell. Let's just be realistic about it. Now, there's a saying in which, I mean, this topic can go on
years,
years too. But there is a sign that I definitely have come to the realization of. It is not good to marry outside of the village. Okay, you want to marry someone that's within the village. If y'all want to know what I mean by that, y'all got to catch me on another show or call me or whatever. I'll break that down to you. But we don't have time now because we still got a lot of other good stuff that we want to share with you. But you want to marry somebody in the village, meaning with your like mindset, like beliefs, values, principles. They want you want. Now, does that mean that when you come together, things are going to be absolutely perfect?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Not at all. You're going to have to work some things out.
You have to work on it. You got to put the work in.
What we got next, sweetie? What's next?
Next is our next clip.
Okay, the next clip. All right. So is that John Q?
Yes.
All right, let's play John Q. Okay. I love this one. I love this one here. All right, here we go.
Hello.
He's gonna die.
What?
They're releasing him.
Who?
Now, those of you who may not know about John Q, it's a great movie. I think it's based on a true story. But John Quincy here and him and his mother, their son needs a heart transplant and no insurance, no monies. The hospital wouldn't accept it because of it. So right there, they're at they've raised money. They pretty much sold everything from their home, what have you. They raised about $20,000. They needed $250,000.
They had insurance, but it was a minimum coverage.
Yeah, it was a minimum coverage, right? Okay, so here is where a woman's influence kick in here. So,
Dr. Turner just left here, and they are releasing Mike this morning.
All right, baby. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, they're not going to send him home. I gave them money yesterday, baby.
It doesn't matter, John. Listen.
Now listen to what she's about to say right here. Listen to what she's about to say right here. When you talk about a man's ego, look what she's getting ready to do here.
They are releasing him.
Come on now, baby. I talked to the hospital. They said, I'll take care of it.
John, you always take care of everything.
I will.
But it's never enough, is it? Now you need to do something. Do you hear me? Do something.
She did something. He did something all right.
He did.
Did you hear what she said? You always say you're going to take care of something, but it's never enough. She attacked his ego,
which forced him.
And like
in the corner.
Yep. She backed him into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, I said, do you think that he would have went to those extremes
Had she not
if
pushed
had
him.
she not challenged his ego?
Mm-hmm.
In essence, what she was doing, she was magnifying his past failures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Come on.
really? Maybe she could have said, well, I know you've always tried, sweetie, but can you do something, please? Can we need to do more? But listen, let me just play that last little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That last little bit.
Do you have a tone?
The tone, no.
Okay.
The tone in
Which she said.
Always take care of everything.
I will.
But it's never enough, is it? Now you need to do something. Do you hear me? Do something.
And then she hung up on him.
Yes, sir.
She hit every trigger
Yes.
because she knew her son's life was on the line. She didn't care what he was going to do.
Exactly.
Do something.
As long as he does something.
And then when he did what he did, when he locked down that ER, I don't know if you all recall, the couple, the pregnant couple, the husband and wife, the woman was about to be in labor. She was in labor. She said the same thing.
Yep.
Do something.
Same exact thing. She looked at her husband and she was saying that the baby is coming. She said, you need to do something. And he's looking like, what? She said, do something. Same exact thing. Now, what I got from that is, okay, I could tell him to do something, but it was the tone, the undertone that they used. And the reason you do that is because he's the head. He's the protector and provider. So naturally, you would look to him for him to do something, for him to respond, say, hey, what are we going to do? But again, it was the undertone that got me.
Yeah.
To this, Mr. Johnson says here, that type of verbiage hits the reactive core of a man. He will react.
Exactly.
Sure.
He will react.
Because at his core, a man is a protector.
And that's
it.
Okay, so let me read this. I'm gonna get to it because there's another comment here in reference to that. When a man is pushing a corner, you don't know if a lion is going to come out of that corner or if he's going to tear down that wall. True. That provider nerve in a man is serious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we as women, we know how to touch it.
Yep.
Yes.
And the people can say no, it's not true, but if you watch a daughter and her father, right? She knows how to get daddy to do whatever it is that she needs, and nobody taught her that.
Come on.
That's true.
Nobody
That's very true.
taught her
Come
that.
on.
Right now we have a 4-year-old. My husband came in and he was excited. He was talking about something. My son ran from upstairs. He thought daddy was upset. He was like, hey, don't talk to my mommy like that. My husband was like, boy, if you don't go sit down, that's my woman. But to him, he didn't know that it was excitement that Dad and I had just gotten off the phone and it was something good. He thought Dad was upset. So the protector in him came out. Nobody taught him that.
That's a good point.
So at our core, we have something on the inside of us that only the other person understands. So we have to be careful how to use that influence. We can't just throw our influence around all willy-nilly because we feel some kind of way. Do you know how many men are locked up because some woman felt some kind of way?
Come on.
Right there.
And will never see the light of outside day behind those bars ever again because you felt some kind of way.
And she's gone on by her business.
Yeah.
She's going on with her life.
A whole new man and everything.
Exactly.
I just want to say this real quick. I know some of you that may tune in may have been looking for us to be slinging dirt bashing Jada, whatever.
That's not what we do. That's not what wise women do.
That's not what wise women do, and that's not what men who represent the kingship and who walk as peace do. Not here on the Father's note. But we're playing these clips to show you that these are real life issues, things that happens. And I'm certainly, absolutely, if it can change, ladies, if what is being said here, if these examples of the wrong influence, I'm going to use that word, of a woman can have on a man, maybe you're seeing yourself in that situation, and maybe if you change, just take the time to change, maybe it can bring a difference. You can get a different response out of your man, out of your husband. Okay, what we got next, ladies? I hope I'm not ruining y'all.
No, you are right in the vein, and you know, you said something, Mr. Lionel. You said, ladies, if you want to change. Well, I believe there are people who are listening who really want to, but don't know how.
Yes.
And if you don't know how, I recommend get that first relationship right first. And that relationship is the relationship with the Lord. Because like I said, we didn't come out knowing this stuff, but we learned. And we hung around other women who had a lot more wisdom, and they imparted to us. And that's why we're here, because we want to impart to you women what wise women do. And we also have video clips to show you an example of what one wise woman did. And she wasn't that much older, but she knew who she was. And she knew that she belonged to the Most High King. And she trusted God to position her to get to the place where he could use her for his glory.
Yes.
Again, I think, one of the things that I pointed out, just because I want you to set up this next video clip we're going to show, Ms. Dominique. But one of the things that I pointed out when I was with the fellas last week, I don't care what you do, however you go as a man, I must encourage you to get to know God first. If you get to know God first, you will get to know and understand what your true identity is. You will get to know and understand those things, those principles that are vitally important to you walking out your manhood. You know, and I love my wife now. I love my wife to life. All right. Nevertheless, though, no matter what, and can she get me to do certain things? Absolutely. Even if I don't want to do it, she could get me to do certain things. But at the same time, though, I am not going to agree and follow through on those certain things if I feel that they're going to cause me to lose my place as a king, or my kingship, or my priesthood, as well as, because once it happens to me or whatever I do affects me, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a domino effect from myself to her and to our children.
Yep. You don't have to worry about this.
No, I don't. You believe me, I don't.
I would never put you out there like that.
No. As a matter of fact, you've kept me from putting myself out there a couple of times.
And that's what we do.
And that's what good women do. Wise women do. Please hear what I am saying, because at the end of the day, out of all that we're saying here, and I want all married couples to understand, to hear my voice, to hear what we're saying here. I want all those of you who are engaged or with one another, those of you who, if you are married, and it's not going kosher, it's not well. Look, first of all, look to God first. Yes. Work on yourself, get yourself worked up, fix you first, and then you can come together. But anyway, my heart is grieved right now because, and I'm constantly, my wife and I, we intercede for the Smiths. We intercede for their children. That's what we're supposed to do. Not condemn them.
Yes,
that's right.
Unless we're taking the things in which that they have gone through and they have done to highlight, hey, look, these are things that you don't want to do, because if you do, you get these type of results. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's set up the next clip, Ms. Dominique.
Well, in this story, One Night with the King, you're going to see a couple of clips. Before you see this clip, she has one night. See, the king had a queen. He had to get rid of her because she disrespected him. And the wise men had an idea. Oh, let's get another queen, somebody who's better than your old queen. So they went all throughout the land and they got all these women, and all these women had one night with the king. Now, what do you think they're going to do in that one night? They're going to have sex, of course. And if she pleases him, oh yeah, okay, she can be queen. So the one who gives out the best is probably going to be queen. That was the mindset and the thinking. But the king, he wanted a little bit more than just sex. And you'll find out in the next clips. Oh yes, please play.
And so Jacob, also a shepherd by trade, was sent off into the far, far off land, where he came across the fair Rachel tending her father's sheep. He was smitten and went and rolled the stone from the well and watered her flock for her. Then Jacob kissed Rachel. He lifted up his voice and wept with joy. When Laban, Rachel's father, heard of this, he said to Jacob,
Now, let's delve into this, because here she's a servant, and she have an opportunity to read, to get to understand and know something about the king, what he's like, whatever. And what her responsibilities were to read from the daily logs of all the things that had took place in the kingdom. But what she chose to do was it was boring to her. So what she did, she began to tell the story of Jacob and Rachel. Am I right?
You are absolutely right.
She switched it. She ain't moving him with this daily logs. She probably always hearing. He probably always hearing this. That's not what he wants to hear. She used wisdom. She used her influence. As you stated, as young as she was, she used her influence. She did something different in order to win his heart, I can say. So let me continue.
"Should you serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall your wages be?" Jacob said, "I will serve you 7 years for your daughter Rachel." So Jacob served 7 years tending Laban's sheep.
He stopped doing what he
He
was
seemed
doing.
but a few days for the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled." So Laban threw a great wedding feast. But in the dark of the evening, Laban brought his older daughter into Jacob. And behold, in the morning, it was Leah, not Rachel. Jacob was shocked. He said to Laban, "What is this thou hast done unto me? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel?"
She working the story of love. She wanted love from the man, so she told the story of love. Let me continue.
"Why then have you beguiled me?"
Why then have you beguiled me? I must admit that never before has such a tale been found in the pages of a royal diary. Here I expect to be lulled to sleep by tedious reports, and instead I am beguiled by a love story. And how ends your tale? This Jacob, he is able to have his bride?
This D. Set this up. Please set.
See, she already got his attention. She got him, and that was her first personal interaction with him. So she's sizing him up, and he's already forming an opinion. So this is not her night with the king, but she made an impact in his mind. Ladies, take note.
Only after serving 7 more years for her, my lord king.
Believeth you in such love?
Is it not the greatest commandment? No matter what god one serves.
How do they call you?
Esther Susa.
Susa? No. Nothing good ever comes out of Susa.
You can jump in there, Miss D, anytime you want to now.
Listen, she's like,
I know this your show here.
The reason I love this story is, did you see her posture? She was respectful. She knew her place as a servant. And the next, you're going to see how he enthralls her. He even brings her to his artwork that he was working on. And they even touch in that moment. Listen, he's feeling some things. She's feeling some things. That's why she's trying to catch herself, because she's got to stay in her place. Because again, she's before the king. She knows the protocol. She knows how to humble herself. She knows how to present herself. She knows how to articulate. She's smart. Listen,
she got his attention without taking off her clothes.
Drop the mic.
Come on.
So
that's a mic drop right there.
Okay, mic drop. I was getting ready to say something. Let's continue on. Let's continue. Wait. So basically, what she's doing here, she's respecting his kingship. Come on. This is a powerful message here.
Yes,
ladies,
honored him.
Yes,
you hear how she said, "My lord and kingship." She said it with honor, not with disdain. Versus when Vashti did it,
right.
Vashti did it in a condescending and disrespectful manner. And when the king sent for Vashti, she said, "I'm not coming. You're not my king. I don't care who you are or what you say." And in that space, Vashti was put out of the kingdom.
And not only that, she not only disrespected the king, she disrespected the whole kingdom.
Okay, so stop right there. Jada disrespected her king.
Yes.
And it affected their whole kingdom.
So
it's going right back to what Aaron said in the beginning, Mr. Gibbons said, about respecting the kingdom so that the kingdom won't be, however he worded it may not be his words exactly, but the whole kingdom won't be brought down.
Right.
That's it.
Because your world is affected too.
That's it.
Exactly.
With me.
This is that one night.
Is there a problem? Did they not tell you I weary of this procession of candidates? I simply wanted someone to...
Wait, you were the one who read to me before. You tried to beguile me with love stories. Did you not think I had the sense to see through your little parable? The arrogance to speak to me as if I was this Rachel, in need of help to look after my father's sheep.
My lord, I meant no design.
And this is how you come to see me? Your only adornment before your one night with the king.
So what's happening here, Ms. D?
He is going all hard. He is going in on her because he's done. He's like, he want to see, who are you? What are you about? Why are you coming to me like this? Everybody else is coming to me with all this gold. Everybody's coming to me with game. What's your game? What you want from me? He gonna find out.
That's it.
It is, Your Majesty.
Consider yourself of so little worth that I could purchase your love so cheaply.
I was taught that when you visit a king, rather than expect a gift, one should bring one to Lady's feet.
That was it right there. Was powerful there.
And in that scene, okay, if you saw the movie, that necklace was given to her by her parents who had died. And that necklace represents who she is, her past, her present, and her future. If you heard what she said, she says she was taught when she comes before a king, she is to present a gift, a worthy gift, because that's what in her culture, that's what it asked for.
Right.
So she's about to give him everything. Now remember, he's still going in. He's still being difficult because he wants to see what she's going to tolerate. And he wants to see, is she worthy?
Okay. Jay, this comment here. Jada want to put everything on the red table, but she need to talk about these things at the kitchen table.
Mic drop.
Wow.
Oh.
Let's continue with the clip.
This is my most valuable possession in the world.
Now she could have given her body, but she did not consider her body as the most valuable.
Most valuable
gift. Because here's the thing: every single woman, fat, skinny, thick, black, red, light skin, purple, orange, have the exact same thing.
Yep.
Come on.
Right? So what is it that made her different? She brought something to the table that was worthy of getting his attention. He knew in that moment that she was not everybody else, that she was the exception to the rule, that was the queen, because queens have to be able to stand out. They're different for a reason. They think differently. They carry themselves differently. They know how to talk to the king differently. They speak a different language.
Come on.
So what did Will see in Jada that was different than his first wife?
What Will saw was, he said it. He said, we had conversation.
Wow. Okay.
Can I add to that too?
Go ahead.
Will also, it seems, now I could be wrong, but it's like he needed a savior complex. He needed to save somebody. And that made him feel like the provider protector. If he could save somebody. And, you know, men and women both have that savior complex. But it's not until you throw that down and get in touch with the real savior that you can really start your life.
Okay, let's go ahead with this clip. Let's finish this up.
It is my past, my present, and my future. And all of it is yours.
Some would call you foolish indeed, as they would call your Jacob. Of all commodities, love is the easiest and the most cheaply purchased.
If it is for sale, my lord, it is not love.
Even you.
She said, if it is for sale, it is not love.
Even you must have a price.
I am neither a buyer nor a seller of love.
Suppose, my lady, a man offered you a more treasured gift. Say, a kingdom.
The only gift I would accept is your heart.
That's what a man want to know. Not what you could do for her. Well, not what you could do for him. He wants to know that he could trust you with his heart. And the king, with all that macho, with all, I mean, he was king over territories, unbelievable wealth, unbelievable power. And he was looking for one person who would take care of his heart. She didn't even want the kingdom. If it came, okay. She just wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 10:31. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Verse 11. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no spoil, no need of spoil, and she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She honors him. When he's down, she picks him up. She prays for him. She covers him, right? She serves him. She serves besides him. She respects him. And when he's getting ready to lose his cool or pop off, she's like, baby, that's what we don't do. Because I need you. I need you here. That's what we do. When your man or your husband is getting ready to fall apart, you let him know how much you need him. The fact that you need him, because men want to feel and know that they are needed. Because if somebody's not needed, they're not indispensable.
Right. Right.
There's no reason for them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing Jada presented Will was with the fact that she needed him, because he went and saved her. She said it herself. He saved me. He went and got me out of a crack house. Right? See, she grew up in an abusive home as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw someone he thought needed protecting. But here's the thing that happens to trauma if it's not taken care of. If you don't go through deliverance, you don't get prayer, you don't realize that you need help, you don't face it, you don't take accountability, you don't do the work, it takes over your life and it destroys you. And the enemy does not even need to lift a finger, because he will make you to be the very weapon used to destroy your own self. Because you can't hear when anybody says anything to you. You'll have your own self-delusion. You'll be in a state where nothing is really as it is in your mind. And that's it, Miss Mary. She can do him no good. Because to herself, she said at the red table, she said, I was broken. And he came and he said, I was broken. You brought two broken people together who ultimately did not deal with their issues, who ultimately did not deal with their childhood issues and traumas, whose parents did not deal with those issues. They didn't see anybody doing the work. They started doing the work, but here's the thing. Then you had those other voices. You had Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
You had Wiccan, which is witchcraft, if you guys don't know, right? Mm-hmm. Then you have, I'm going to say it because I'm not scared, the Illuminatis.
Well.
Okay. And then you have the people that are being paid to agree with them. Nobody is saying, hey, I care about you. You need to get you some help. Versus, who sleeps as a mother with your friends, with your child's friend?
Right. That's
that all in itself said something. And where things were so broken, where she was broken, where she was crying out for help and nobody could see it. And he was so busy crying out for help himself, Will couldn't help her. And then guess who's messed up in the midst of all of that?
Children.
Those poor kids.
Who was part of the kingdom.
Yep.
So what are we saying then in as we are near the end of this conversation? Because I've heard so many things here, and I guess what we are saying to the people then, first of all, check yourself. Don't go into a relationship and you know you have baggage, you know you have hurts, that you can't not contain.
Exactly.
I believe that going back to Will's action, why he chose to release how he really was feeling, there, nobody knows. But maybe it's something that needed to happen so that he can get the help.
The help that he needed.
So that whoever, that one person who may have contact that close or in his circle can introduce him back to his Lord and Savior. That can introduce him back to God, the importance of God. It will, yeah. Just because of what man says that all is lost. All is not lost with God.
That's right.
You can redeem yourself. You can redeem your manhood. Because all in all, God knows the heart of every man. He knows all of our hearts.
Yes.
And this is what we need to strive for and pray for. Even yourself, even your couples out there. Listen, it like Will now, divorce does not have to be the end. And I wish I had known that many moons ago. But what I realized, it wasn't always the other person. It was me, first of all. And again, walk with God. I don't want to get, but listen to the audience. How are we doing here? Have you gotten anything out? If you would, please share something. Put something in the comment. Let us know in the comment what you've gotten out of this discussion tonight. I know we've gone a bit longer, but I just felt that this was a very sensitive conversation that we needed to have this discussion. We showed the illustrations just to help with the content of what we wanted to say to each and every one of you. Listen, help is there if you want help.
Yes.
You don't have to live a life like Jada and Will. And now I'm going to say another thing too, and then I'm going to move on. I think one lesson here that I would say that everybody should get from here, you need to keep your personal business personal. You don't need to let everybody, your mom and them and cousin them and auntie them, all know what's going on in your home, in your house. All you're doing is just opening yourself up to more conflict, ridicule, and then you have people that P-R-E-Y on you and not P-R-A-Y on you.
Ooh.
So we need to be very thoughtful of those things. If you need help, seek help. Don't be ashamed, but seek help from a reputable person.
Yes.
Don't let everybody in your business and in your marriage. If they not living a life, if they don't, how you going to get counseling from you married, you're going to go to your best friend who's single. Number one, she needs to stop being your best friend. Oh.
Drop it low.
What y'all have in common? Help me here now. Oh, y'all ain't saying that. Huh?
You know what? I understand what you're saying.
They
We
had
do
a
have friends.
relationship.
We have single friends. We have married friends. And we govern ourselves accordingly.
Okay, so let's talk about that. But do you discuss your married life with your single friend, even if you have one? Y'all do, huh?
I did in the past.
Yeah.
Learned the hard way.
Seek wise counsel.
That's it.
From a single woman?
No, that's not what I said.
I'm asking. Well, then what are you saying?
I know who to go to.
We don't have a round table, we got a black table.
I know who to go to.
Yes, we do have resources and people that we can talk to. I love your response, Shirella. Listen, Ms. Shirella, wise counsel.
Yes.
We are so blessed in our house that
You're married. Y'all not answering the question. You're married, and you're going to seek wise counseling from a single woman.
No, we did not say that.
Then what are you saying?
We did not say that.
No.
Well, if you must know, one of the people I go to is your mother.
But my mother is married.
Exactly.
I'm talking about.
We said we don't go to single friends.
All right.
I said I seek wise counsel.
Okay. All right. Now I just want to know now because Hey, you know, if I'm in error, I don't mind correcting it, but that's like me going to a single friend, a single man, and having. My brother in chat. You see what he said. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a chance to coach them as to why it isn't a good idea.
You mean to go to the single friend?
Yeah, explain that, Mr. Johnson. Okay. But that single friend could be a divorcee full of okay.
Oh,
Now
in that context.
okay, now we talking. Now we talking. I can agree with that. If that single friend has been a divorcee, yes, they can share some things with you.
But look what Miss Shirley said. Wise counsel needs to come from a married person who will give you the biblical perspective.
And it also needs to be from someone who is not married and bitter.
Ooh,
right?
Good.
If they are married and bitter, run for your life.
Yeah,
You know,
that gives a different filter to it. And
now I'm not a fan of the red table. As a matter of fact, to tell you the truth, I just know of it. I don't know about it. But however, from what I've seen, you have a mother-in-law there and a daughter there. And
No,
Jada,
that's her mother.
I mean mother, you have a mother and a daughter at this round table. Where's the godly influence in that?
There is none.
Because it was interesting when I saw where it says that she would have this conversation with Will about the slap as long as he do it at the round table. I got my own thoughts about that round table. But I won't say it here because I would definitely turn that round table black. Okay. I'll be like Elijah. Calling fire down from heaven.
Burn it.
Yep.
Now, why is he saying that? Because this round table is bringing division in my home. And as a man, it can't stand here.
There you go. As
a king, as a priest of my house, because this round table, it represents too much of the wrong stuff, things that go against my principle. Ms. White, I wasn't trying to go there.
Oh, that's prophetess.
She said the round table is a snake pit.
Yep.
That's it.
See, y'all push me. Y'all need to be quiet on that round table. Let me see. Do we feel wise counsel could be in the form of a therapist? This is outside the Bible's principles. I have my own opinion about that.
And there are mental health therapists who are Christian and who know the Lord.
That's the only way.
Those are the best
Yeah, that is the only way.
That's the only way. That's the only way for me. Thank you. Y'all just helped me from saying what I really started to say. That's the only way. If they don't have biblical principles with it or biblical background within themselves, I don't think I want to hear nothing they say. They probably we probably need to switch roles.
Amen.
Christian counseling.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's what we need. That's what we need. I wouldn't want counsel from anyone who did not give it to me from the biblical perspective.
Exactly.
No flakes, no nuts.
Okay.
Flakes, nuts.
Unbiased. Give me the truth. Give it to me raw.
Right. Any final sayings, lady? I just want to make sure we covered out there. I felt like I did a lot of. I didn't want to take y'all show.
We covered everything.
Y'all.
I have.
We're gonna see the end.
Thank you.
Okay, you want the movie? All right. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, let's go to the end. Let me see. I had removed it from where we at? Okay. I'm gonna have to do some fast forwarding on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you in love with it.
She's a movie buff.
Yeah.
Ladies If it happened for Esther, it can happen. If it happened for us, it can happen for you.
Amen.
Listen to what he says.
And we shall spend an eternity discovering this truth together.
Persians, your queen!
Know you how many times I tried to comfort you after that first night? How many evenings I spent counting the stars to keep my mind off of you? How many excuses I created just to avoid the other candidates?
See, that's what he wanted, and he waited for it. Because of her conversation that caught his attention. She was in his head all through all those other women that were coming through to be the queen. But in his mind, she was already it. She just had to wait her turn.
And she didn't take off her
he
clothes.
showed just that.
That's
that
it.
It was her that pierced his heart. It was her that pierced his mind. It was her that was in his spirit. And now they can consummate. Hallelujah.
That's it. The for the women out there, it's not the physical.
It's not.
It really, really isn't. A man can have that from any woman.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You said, repeat what you just said prior to that.
It's not about the physical.
That got to set a minute. Go ahead and finish your point, because I hold your thought.
Because when you entice a man with your mind, right? It's sexy.
Come on.
You're already in his head. Did you hear what the king said? All the other women were being paraded in the front of him, but his mind was on her because he was a king. He already knew who he was and what he wanted. We didn't say a king in training, because a king in training is still training. He's still looking, feeling, trying to figure it out. But when he becomes a king and steps into the role of a king, he's no longer, no matter how many princesses are paraded in the front of him, he's focused on the queen.
You know, when you say that, just so you thought of it, let me chime in there, because what you're saying, what I'm hearing is that, ladies, there's no sense. If you know you with the right man, why are you getting jealous if other women are coming around? What reason is there for you to think that he's with someone else, or he's doing something that he's engaged in? Am I making sense here? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the only thing to answer that would be your own insecurities or perhaps past indiscretions. Whatever it is, it's a block. And until you get deliverance from that, and that's from women and men that need to get deliverance, that need to get prayer, they need to get help, because again, you can't give what you don't have.
That's it.
Wow.
That's true.
So, wrong one. That's a mic drop. You can't get what you don't have. Yeah, you have some more you want to add, Miss Katia?
I just feel like praying for Will and Jada and those kids is what we as the kingdom do. Praying, and we need to pray for Denzel, because it seemed like Denzel has an into Will. Right? So we have to keep praying for Denzel that God will continue to pour into him what Will needs to bring Will back to the kingdom.
That's a good point. It's a great point.
Because men listen to men hear men. And
You
it's
know,
someone that he respects. He's watched Denzel live it.
Yep.
You know, so we have to pray for him because we don't know who God is placing in what position. You know, where the seeds are falling. Our job is to place is to plant the seed.
Right.
And let God water it. So we have to pray for Will. We have to pray for Jada, for the brokenness, for those generational curses. We're watching generational curses play out in the front of us live. We're watching what they say about Black men. And I'm here to tell you it's not true.
That's right.
Right. You took my mind back to one of the things that we pointed out last week, and then we got to get off of here, ladies, is that every man needs a mentor. Every man needs a mentor. So it's a possibility, you know, that Denzel will become
his
mentor. Okay. So great points. You you have any final sayings, Ms. Dominique?
Just that the women will be back for part 2. April 27th, 24th. We'll be back.
This was a special edition.
Exactly.
Tonight. We wanted definitely to catch the topic while it was definitely hot and on the minds of everyone. Sweetie, you got anything you want to add?
No.
Yeah, because I did it all for you.
You did.
I talked it all for you. I'm not gonna be sitting in your seat on the next show now. I'm letting you know right now.
That's fine.
Well, we hope that whatever was said really helps people, because again, that's our whole purpose.
Right.
Exactly. We didn't come on here to bash or anything of that nature. We came to bring light to the situation and just to help those who need the help. And ladies, I'm talking to the ladies because I'm one. Respect your man. Don't come out your mouth any kind of way to your man. I'm keeping it real right now. Don't curse him. Don't do any of that.
Especially in front of children.
Exactly. Don't degrade him. Don't bring him down. Don't belittle him. Don't do that. Build him up. And if you have issues, talk about it behind closed doors. And be respectful.
You know, just think about the conversations that Jada has had with Willow present. And that mindset in which that is being established in her mind concerning her own father. For her to write this letter to Tupac, a man who is dead, has been dead. And again, that's a slight. A slap in the face to her own father.
Exactly. Come on.
So where did that spirit, that mindset come from? It was instilled in her from the mother. And I'm going to say this, and then we out of here. Listen, everyone who's watching. Please listen to the sound of my voice. When I begin to look at all the things that is taking place in our world today concerning the man, everything that we see, even the actions of Jada and her husband, Mr. Smith, a man who's at the top of his life, one accomplishment that he's always been sought after, and it's everything that we see right now is an attack against the man. It is to demoralize men. It is to demasculate the man. This is why we see what we see, that the spirit of homosexuality is so dominant right now. Because again, as it was pointed out, like when our apostle said, there is an identity crisis that is taking place in the spirit realm. I know I didn't come to preach, and I'm not, but I'm giving you facts. Because the word of God let us know that the devil, he's subtle. Okay, he's very wise. But he yet let us know that he would not leave us, God would not leave us ignorant to his devices. And so all of these are devices that has been introduced and interjected so subtly till that it's to the point is where we feel that it's not creating a lot of ruffles in the waves, but yes, it is. Because it don't listen. I mean, it's just, it's almost like let me say it this way. Let me slow down, Mr. Nelson. It's like an ant building a mound. They don't move the whole mound at one time. They move it one grain at a time. And that is exactly what the enemy has been doing. Moving in with their agenda, one grain at a time. Now we see this mountain rising. No, we should have been noticed what was happening. I got to say this. I have to say this.
Come on.
Because of what I've been called to do as a man. We have to protect our manhood, men. We cannot allow, even if it's not our child or our son or daughter, we cannot allow them to be exposed to this treachery that is going on in the world today, especially concerning sex. Especially concerning the identity. Hey, you're a man and you are a woman. We cannot continue this, to allow this, especially those of us who proclaim to be walking in the light. If we are walking in the light, then we ought to be showing light on this darkness. And if they are bold enough to say what they want to say and call it their truth, then what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be doing the same. Speaking God's truth.
That's it.
Amen.
Amen. That's it.
I mean, let's see. Mr. Johnson said this stage has never been a bash session. Just no, we're not here for that. See this last comment. Those children were never parented by mature parents because they said they can make their own
life decisions. Yes. Yes, they did say that.
That's called an Ishmael.
Then that goes against the scripture.
Yes.
God said that we are to train up our child in a way that they should go, so that when they get old, they will not depart.
Amen.
That's in Proverbs. Okay. Hey, thank you, ladies. But let's continue to be a voice. I'm encouraging every man out there who watch this video. No. See, I'm in fight mode right now. I'm in fight mode.
Calm down.
But no, don't tell me calm down about my spirit. I'm not talking about physical fight. Because Paul said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So I don't care about the size of your man or who you are. No. That's not what I'm concerned about. But that devil that has tricked your mind, that's what I'm going after. And the only way we're going to conquer, we got to keep speaking against it.
That's it.
All right, we out of here. Hey, listen, everybody. Thank you for watching another night of Father's Day. We went long tonight, but hey, you know what? We just wanted to take our time. I just didn't feel led to rush it. I really didn't feel led to rush it. And if you bored you, then I guess you're not on board with what we're doing here. Yeah, we're just gonna speak the truth. We're just gonna tell it like it is, okay? But guess what? We appreciate you watching and you chiming in and everything. So with that look like you want to say something now. Okay, good, because nobody ain't saying nothing else. This out. We getting out of here now. All right. We got to go and play mommy and daddy and all that kind of stuff, you know. So
Ooh.
No. Hey, we married.
Hey.
And we got an empty house too. They empty nest. Yeah.
For those days.
Yeah. Hey, y'all have a good night. All right. Love you all. God bless.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.